Welcome back another to the Down and Back of CornDoug. We are back in the Octane studio here, finally out of the dungeon of the basement, and we have the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Timothy Pitcher. Timothy, how you doing?
Doing well. How about yourself, brother?
Not too bad. We've had a lot of talks kind of over the last few months here, and mostly it's you saying to me, like, get your head out of your ass because my attitude sucked when I was playing, but it's it's one of the things I love being able to talk to you about because you will shoot me straight on anything that's wrong with my game.
What other way is there to be, man? I wouldn't really be a real friend if I didn't.
Well, and you know what, and we've talked about this before. You have been that way with for me at least since the first time we met back in 2018, Cherokee on that balcony just outside the ballroom there. We're kind of just out having a break, and you've been like almost like a best friend since.
Well, I appreciate that. It's crazy that balcony was pretty famous. It'd be cool to get back to Cherokee, but I'm sure that the ACL's way overgrown that place.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, and it's I haven't been able to get a chance to get in the new place down in South Carolina. Hopefully, we get all this COVID stuff and the borders open up, and maybe I can be able to head down there to check it out again. But we'll have to see.
Man, you need a covert team to sneak you out.
Well, exactly. Yeah. I was even asked to go to the Open that's coming up in Virginia there in March, but I was like, yeah, I don't have a chance to get there. And gladly, it was only going to be in the intermediate division, but yeah.
That thing sold out in 2.5 days.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's a lot of upset people that didn't get in, and I understand, but at the same time, the tournament director, she did a great job of posting updates and stuff like that, letting people know, like, hey, it's getting down to this, it's getting down to that. So one of my buddies, I won't mention his name, who's not on Facebook, he missed out. Me and him have been in contact late last night, early this morning, and he kind of missed out. And I was like, dude, you got to get on Facebook so you can like see all this stuff. Stop living in the 60s and 70s.
Well, you know what? You go back to a year ago, and Cleveland was the same way. That was like 90 minutes, and it was sold out.
Right. Well, Cleveland, man, wow, that was slated to be the largest cornhole event ever. I mean, I still think the town of Cleveland probably got an influx of business by all of us getting there. And I didn't stay long because I kind of figured it was going to happen. And I was watching the NBA the night before when they shut down. And I was, as we're going out there, the NFL shut down, the NHL shut down, Major League Baseball shut down. So I made sure when I got there that night, I didn't go out and party with most of the people that were there that were excited to be there because I had a feeling it was going to get canceled, so I could get the heck out of there and get back home.
Yeah, I think we got into Cleveland about 12:30 that night on the Friday morning, and I was like, we'd already knew, like we were like, I think we're about 45 minutes outside of Cleveland, and we're like, do we turn around and drive the 6 hours home, or do we just go the 45 minutes, stay the night, come home the next day?
Right.
So
yeah, we got up at 6:30 in the next morning. I was home by I think noon. And, still was able to salvage the weekend and the time I had took off.
Yeah. So getting down to some stuff, I know we had talked a little bit, and you'd wanted to say some stuff earlier, a little while ago. Is there anything that you'd want to kind of like talk with your, I guess you can say your fans, about kind of how you're doing?
Man, I don't have no fans. I don't like the term fans, because when I think of fans, I think about people that I'll never get to talk to, and I want to talk to everybody. So, of course, December 5th, I had somewhat of a mental breakdown, and I was in a really, really dark place, and it was some things leading up to it that was contributing, and and I won't get into the details about that evening as far as what made the tipping point, because it was a situation with another person, and we've hashed that out, so I'm not going to do that. But like mental health is important. They're probably one of the most important things in everyone's life. Um, I've gone through a lot in my life that keeps me like in a little dark cloud a lot. And it's one of the reasons why I'm good at cornhole because it gives me a reason to escape. So I'm doing a lot better. A slight change in meds, a couple of lifestyle changes that, you know, help me, get back to a decent pattern of, good living to be able to get over and get through things a little bit better. So I'd say that.
Well, it's kind of like it's kind of seemed like the whole cornhole world kind of came out for you that night. Which is
Um,
because I know for myself, my Facebook got flooded with Timothy picture messages.
yeah, yeah, and I mean to thank everyone after it's still like last night, perfect example. I was on Facebook scrolling and I saw some comments or a post from a guy that I used to play cornhole with. And I went to his inbox and there you go. There's a message he sent me that night that I never even saw. Like I haven't even probably looked at half of them. And it's not because I'm like being disrespectful or anything. It's just that it was so much.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was so much. Like there was a point that night where I had to turn my phone on. I went to visit my dad's. I went to visit my dad's gravesite, and I had to turn my phone on just to use the flashlight. I had already 300 messages on my phone or missed calls or stuff like that by I think it was like 35, 40 minutes in.
Mm-hmm.
And so I had to find it and hurry up and turn my phone off because I didn't want my location tracked because, by
Yeah.
then the police were involved and all of that stuff and I didn't want them to find me. But I just needed some time to like clear my head for real. Like, and I didn't do it for any other reason because I was ready to go. I got to the point where fighting was just too much to handle on a daily basis. And I think I had hit my bottom and I just got tired, man. It's like, it happens to people every day. Like some people want you to know, some people don't. Um, and I chose the route of letting people know where I was, and it actually helped me get out of that headspace. Um, I want to thank every person that sent a message. I mean, there's people that still check with me on a week to week basis to see how I'm doing. Thank all of those people, like the people that were advocating for me, looking for me and stuff like that. Thank you so much. Like I can go on and on and on if I had to name names, but they know who they are and they have a special place in my heart. And even the people that didn't like reach out because like I know that people were thinking about me, so thank you as well. So like I'm better, way better, and I appreciate all the love that I received that evening and every evening after.
Yeah. No, I know. I was in a Zoom call that night with some other cornhole people, and we were just all we were looking about. We were all just in a Zoom call, looking at our phones, talking to different people, trying to get messages from people. And you know what? When I finally got the message, it was that you were okay. It was like for me, it was a lift because, like I said, you've always been so much for me as a cornhole player. Like I've been able to just message you, and you've kind of given me that kick in the ass, for lack of a better term, that I've
Right.
needed. And like even you know I threw that 29 in the international blind draw, and it was like, and you were kind of like just. It took me like 5 minutes to read the message you sent with me to tell me exactly all what I did wrong, but then that made me a better player. Even and even just being a friend with you is a better person.
Right. Well, I
You know.
appreciate that, man. Those are some kind words. I'm not perfect, man. I just know that like I've seen crazy stuff growing up in my life, and I know that others have been, you know, affected different ways with their upbringing and how their lives have, kind of, folded just folded out throughout.
Yep.
And it's just I know that we all go through stuff, and to try to take a like to like break someone down or stuff like that. That's ignorance. Um, just be able to talk to people. That's what I love to do. I love just talking to people. I love crying and talking to
Yeah.
people. Um, I mean, I don't really love it, but like it happens often. But like I like getting to know people for who they are and what they're all about. And I want people to know exactly who they're dealing with when they're, in a conversation with me. I'm gonna give you all of me if that's all I got. You know.
Yeah. So we'll move on to some better stuff. You had the chance to play down in Florida there at the latest national with the pros. So that was a little different kind of setup for this one here. What was your thoughts on how that went?
Oh, everything went smooth. Like the new format as far as the stack tournament, that's pretty cool. Um, I didn't play as great as I normally would, but coming from the situation that I came from, just being there was good enough for me at that point. There was a lot of stuff. I was definitely in a funk going in there. I mean, I was starting to emerge, but I tell you, the ACL Pro Division has a way of telling you, you're not out of that funk yet. And pump your brakes, player. So I got down there, didn't do great. I mean, we did really good in crew. I had three really good guys that, could hold me up. I played well, though. They all played well. We had to sub, one of our players, one of our main crew players out for another guy. But, we played well. Mike Harvey, James Washington, Tyler Lugo, myself took fourth in our bracket. So, we played very well. Doubles didn't go well. I played with Jeff Bashan from
Yep.
Mass.
Yep.
And, a tough game right out the gate. I think we lost in 4 rounds to Eric Davis and Brett Guy, giving up a 7. First round, there's a lot to do with comfortability and all of that stuff with your partner. I miss seeing my buddy at the other end, but certain things with his family and COVID don't match up for his liking. So hopefully when the next national, my partner's gonna be with me. Mr. Leston Allen's gonna be in there with me. So we'll get back to doing some winning throwing. So yeah. But everything as far as how it ran and the jersey pickups, they had a photographer, my sponsor. Oh, shout out to sponsors AAR Cornhole and allcornhole.com. They had a photographer there for us, and then I think they used that same photographer for other players and stuff. Got some good shots of me losing. Let's not get it twisted. I didn't win much, but yeah, it was good, man. It's like just good being back. Like from August to January, August to January or February, whatever it was. It's like it's a very long time not to be playing on the national stage.
No, for sure. Yeah, we haven't even got back to normal here from last March, from playing up here. So it's it's that you can only do so many deck rounds, so many ghost games where you want that pressure, that person beside you.
Right. I tell you what, man. Since March, I've done 0 deck rounds, 0 ghost games. Haven't done any live stream playing like any of that. Like I built this facility at my house just so I could have a couple of people come over so we can play live games. Luckily, there's a local bar that opened up, I say November of 2019, and then they shut down for a while. And when they came back, it was kind of like changed from a billiards place to a cornhole bar. And they've been having something with cornhole every night of the week. Of course, we have to wear masks, and it's a limited amount of people, but it's 10 minutes from my house. Like it definitely was a good outlet to continue throwing. But yeah, man, it's been decent, but I understand your pain. It's just been decent.
So I guess my next question was just for you practicing, is it ghost games? Is it deck rounds? But I guess I kind of got that answer with what you had said, that they're a no-go with your practice routine.
So like when I meant ghosts, I'm talking about live streaming, playing and ghost tournaments. Now, this ghost thing's been around a lot longer than people even realize. When I first started playing back in 2012-ish, I went to a ACO regional down in Virginia Beach, and I met Rocky, Jonathan Uransky, Elvis Orr, Greg Vaja, all those great players from down there. And Elvis Orr sat and told me that, his practice routine, he plays Ghost 8s, Ghost 9s. And I've known that for almost 10 years. So I've been playing Ghost when I don't have any friends that, don't want to come over and get beat up. So I'll play Ghost, whatever, until I get tired of losing. I don't want to win. I don't want to play any Ghost where I can win. I just want to stay, close to Ghost 10, Ghost 11.
I'm just sitting here trying to hope that I can beat Ghost 4.
Oh, come on, bro. You can beat Ghost 4.
Well, there's the odd time where I kind of struggle too, but it's that whole mental game. And I know that you really helped me with my throw, kind of setting me up a bit, like just with the foot placement, I guess. Right. So which leads me to my other thing is that the other big talking point now in cornhole is the step throw. I know that you are into you're a step thrower. What's your mindset with that?
So I don't consider it a step. I was playing in a conference tournament 2019. Me and Leston were getting waxed. I think we were losing something like 19-6 to some really good players from the Virginia Beach area. One of us had to start blocking, and my block is a little bit better than Leston's. Leston just likes to fill the hole up, and there's no knock on his game or anything like that. It's just that if either one of us is going to block, most likely it's going to be me. So I started to block. The player that I was throwing against would hit his first airmail, miss his second. Back then I was an airmail machine. So, but I could not push a push pop. I couldn't push anything. So I started doing that step through on the final bag to make sure I got 3 every round and I throw the bag first. The bag's out of my hand, and I just go along with it to keep the bag going on the straight track. Because sometimes when you're staying still and you want to throw the bag harder, you tend to twist across the body, and you tend to throw it too far to the left or too far to the right, whatever handed you are. But yeah, so like that step through helped me keep my bag going straight, and we ended up coming back winning that game. And I think that's when we won our first conference tournament as doubles. So it was good.
Yeah, I've like when I see people complaining about the step, I'm kind of thinking that like it seems to you like you're letting go of the bag before that foot hits the ground anyway. So there's nothing, because what difference is it with the foot being over if someone leaning over the board and their hand is already past the line anyway? Isn't that a fault then as well too?
So I understand the gripe. I mean, because most of the people that complain about it are complaining as a visual obstruction. They're already ready to throw, and there's someone going past the line. I understand that totally. But just let's just say there was some other rule, and people are going to complain regardless of whatever it is that they're going to be a little soft on or whatever. You're going to get people complaining. That rule started from people complaining.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you know Dayton Weber.
Yeah.
Dayton Weber was set to attend his first national tournament with the other league about 4 years ago. Dayton used to sit with his butt to the front of the board, already over the line, and throw. People complained about it. Now, this is a kid that's a quadriplegic,
Mm-hmm.
a quadric amputee, my bad.
Yeah.
And he's out here competing, and you have people complaining about it. So they massaged the rule just for Dayton, as I remember it.
Mm-hmm.
And when the ACL came into play, they adopted a lot of the rules that were already in place from, whatever.
Yeah.
So you have one person that can go over the line, which if you just say in the case of X player, he's the only person allowed to go over the line because of his, special situation.
Mhm.
That would be fine with me. I would just step back, whatever the distance is, I step over and throw the bags. But people are gonna complain regardless. Before when I started doing it, there were only two people doing that throw. There was Matt Morton and Ryan Smith. After I started doing it, dude, everybody started doing it. And I'm not, it worked for me. And it
Yeah.
still does work for me. I have an elbow injury that I'm still dealing with, and it takes a lot of torque from my elbow to just so I can just, I can throw a nice soft shot with that. I can still throw it hard, but it hurts. But yeah, people are gonna complain. I've seen some egregious people, like some egregious line steppers.
Yeah.
Like I saw one guy that kind of went halfway down the aisle when he stepped over. Now, granted, he released it way, before, he went over the line, but it was like he was taking a walk afterwards. Like, hold on, dude, you got 3 bags left. The round's not over, and you didn't have last bag. Like, come on, back it up.
Yeah.
But yeah, some people are over the top with it. Some people are real subtle with it. I try to release my bag, follow steps over and get back. I don't try to hang out there to see if the shot goes in. I push right back,
Yeah.
But I'm kind of hoping that the ACL says no more.
Mhm.
And if it has to, if I have to change my throw up a little bit, that's fine because the complaints are kind of they're getting old.
Yeah. I know we here when we're playing at Octane here, we have to complain about Jamie Cowan, who's JC Cornhole, because his thing is the 20 his big thing is he gets caught up on it. You can probably hear me talking. He's back downstairs. Is the 27-foot rule. He's like, if the line is supposed to be 27 feet from the board, you're only 27 feet at the board. So that line, instead of being straight across, should actually be on an arc. So you should be able to arc to keep yourself the 27 feet from the board. And we're like, no, just stay behind the line. You don't need that arc to keep it be 27 feet from the board.
What? Yeah, I don't understand that.
Well, it's to keep the line because your line that your box you're throwing in is already straight across, right?
Right.
So if you're on the left side of the board throwing, when you're on the far left side of the box, you're not the 27 feet anymore. So he thinks that the line should be arced to keep that 27-foot distance.
Oh.
And we're like, just give it up. Just throw the bag. You don't need to be like 18 feet wide.
Was he like a math major or something?
He was a golfer. So that
explains everything. No, I'm just kidding. I got a lot of buddies that play golf and they really enjoy it. They want me to play, but nah, I'm good.
It ruins a good walk. Is what it does.
Yeah.
But that's just that's the fun you can have with some of the rules of cornhole, right? That it's just you get kind of crazy. Like I'm gonna be putting out some videos here because we've had too much dead time here that we're making up different games for cornhole, like just different stuff. So,
right.
But the other thing that kind of gets people and some of our players here is the earbuds. I know you do wear the earbuds from time to time, and people like talking. It's like there's some people I'd rather just put earbuds in so I don't have to listen to them.
Right.
Right. But
I choose not to most of the time. Sometimes when I do the earbud thing is because I've been in a funk and I'm just trying anything. Most of the time I don't. Plus, like I went to South Carolina with them last, at the championship, and they were my daughters, and I left one down there. So if anybody at the Rock Center, the Rock Hill Sports Complex, found a black earbud, wireless. It's mine. Hold it for me till the next championship, please. My daughter almost killed me when I got back.
Well,
But yeah, I like listening to music, but I don't like listening to music that much to put them in every time.
well, and and you got guys. He said it on the show, so I can say it. Is you got guys like Jay Corley says that he usually just wears them when he's playing Rockwell, so
Yeah,
he doesn't have to listen to Rockwell talk.
yeah. Rocky is one of the greatest ambassadors of the game, but Rocky is sneakily like always playing mind games, and he's talking about anything and everything, and like I'm sure me and Rocky have played against each other on numerous occasions, and I'm sure he thinks I'm the biggest a-hole. But I don't like Rocky wants to engage just to get you out of your head. He's so smooth. His game is so good. Like he doesn't need to do that. But shout out to Rocky, the talker.
Yeah. Well, that's what that's what makes it fun, right? You can get annoyed with it sometimes, but it's still it makes the game fun.
It makes for a good talking point on the podcast.
Well, exactly. Yes. Yes. But then, and now with the earfun, and if you need a new set of earbuds, you can go over to myearfun.com, use CornDoug. You can get 20% off of a new set for your daughter. But when you're wearing them, what's your go-to song or your go-to music when you're wearing them and when playing?
So the strangest thing about that, like when I practice, I usually put the music up on loud. And I listen to a lot of rap music and a lot of R&B music. But about 5 years ago, I was at my old job and, I was practicing and I had the music blasting. And Eminem comes on and like I don't know, every time Eminem came on, like I threw just nonstop four-baggers. But I don't know how it is now because like I listen to R&B music now. So when I play to kind of calm me down and mellow me out. But yeah, Eminem would come on and like I couldn't miss.
So I guess we now know what music not to have playing when you're playing.
Yeah, don't play Eminem. And another thing, don't start a tournament after 6:00 p.m. because I'll kill you. The later it gets, the better I get. Like this 9:00 morning start at nationals for singles, dude. Oh,
I think that might go for everybody because you're always up too late the night before playing.
It's not even that. It's not even that. Damon Dennis was ready. Damon Dennis was born. Well, he's probably born ready.
Yeah.
But he threw so good, man. Like, yeah, it was insane how good he was throwing. I mean, as good as Tyler Poitras was throwing.
Yeah. Like
at the time. Like, there was nothing he could do against Damon.
No.
And I saw this last year coming. Like Damon's always a great player, but as far as the singles game, like last year, he was in my bracket at Rock Hill, and I was going into top 4 in the bracket undefeated, and was playing Mike Dingus to get to Damon Dennis. I was beating Dingus 10-0, and then I gave up an 8, and then I lost everything. I think I ended up losing like 21-15 or whatever. But I watched Dingus go against I think he played Damon Dennis. Yeah, I think they played next. And I don't think it was close. Yeah. But you could see it last year starting to happen, like Damon was taking his game to the next level, and it was insane how good he threw. But not that I stayed up late the night before. My family went down with me this time, so it was a little low key. And it's not, you don't have to be up partying, like the next morning is singles. So I don't know any person that can go right to bed at 8:30, 9 o'clock and go right to sleep. We're all like this is the first national of the year. We're ready to go. And 9 times out of 10, like you're pumped up. And you just can't go to sleep because just like a kid going into a senior year in high school and the first day of school's coming and it's like you're pumped up. Like I had my clothes laid out on the bed all set up. Like I knew what I was wearing. My hair was good. Like I dyed my beard a couple nights before. I'm ready to go, but I just couldn't sleep because I was just too amped up.
Well, yeah, and that was the same way for us. Our first year down in Cherokee there, when I first met you, was like we had like the 16-hour drive down there. We're getting there at like 11 o'clock midnight, and you can't sleep. We ended up going over to the ballroom over there, and we seen from the I don't just name totally just left my head there, but he does all the scoring when we're on TV.
Madden.
Madden. We've seen Madden, and we thought, hey, we can play, and then he kicked our ass for like 2 hours because he's just that man can play. Like he doesn't show it, but he's
he can throw.
Oh, for sure. Like I have no idea why he's not playing in the pro division all the time, but
he's definitely one of my favorites of the staff. He's got a great personality. He throws well. He likes to interact with everybody, but like every time I see him, like his face, like, well, that's most people when they see me, like they light up a little bit. But yeah, me and Madden were pretty close.
Yeah, and he's just that small little guy, but then when he plays, he's like 8'2". He's just like this massive guy that you just.
I think you're giving him too much credit now, brother.
Well,
nah, I'm kidding. Yeah, he can throw. He can throw.
He's just deceiving. And then one last thing about Damon Dennis, and we were downstairs, and it was like the Raptors won Game 7 of the finals again when Haseeb Hobbybon took down Damon in the senior singles. Was just like we were like, oh my gosh, that was kind of like Octane's first big win, but just to see the Octane bags, the giant killer.
Oh, so you got okay. So now it makes sense because I was actually I didn't go over to the broadcast court at all that weekend, and I was actually sitting beside Haseeb's belongings when he walked back with the board, and he said, I finally got a senior win as far as the ACL goes. I was like, word? He's like, I beat Damon Dennis and Phil Hayden and Bob Bonch.
Yeah.
Now he definitely played his ass off.
Yeah.
But Damon winning the overall singles took Haseeb beating him to lock in 100%.
Yeah.
A lot of people fail to realize like those little losses equate to something way more in the end.
Oh, for sure.
And he I don't know how he used it, but he knew that he had to do something different. He knew he had to do something different in order to become a little more successful. Like I don't think I've ever been to a national where he didn't win the seniors. I mean him or Rocky.
Yeah.
So like it's been either him or Rocky, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's just crazy. Like it's just like I said, it was like for us up here, it was like the Raptors winning Game 7 over against Golden State again. It was just it was just great to see.
Right, and I love Haseeb. He's funny. He dances.
Yeah.
He doesn't care what people think about him. He definitely moves to his own drum, and there's nothing ever been wrong with that in the history of anything. So.
Oh no. And I talked with him and Mike Ferreira, his doubles partner, going into the Nationals, and they kind of had a little bit of a chip on their shoulder, because they really weren't. They had won a lot of stuff down in Florida, and then they came for the doubles as well too.
Absolutely. That's one thing about Florida that it's not that I don't like it, but I don't like it. Especially right now, what's going outside of here in Maryland and Virginia and West Virginia, our area, Delaware. The Atlantic Conference. They get to play all year round outside, dude. It sucks. It sucks for us. Like, I mean, granted, I built my own little spot to play all year round, but like they're outside and it's damn near 75, 80 every day of the year, let's say average. And they get to play all the time. So, and like they're playing in the wind and the rain and all this stuff. They get to see everything.
Yeah.
And when they get inside, it's like child's play for them. Like, oh, we have like 0 conditions today, and like it's temperature controlled, and the lighting is perfect. Let's kill everybody.
Well, exactly. Yeah, it's, like for me, it's just when we've been down, you get to watch Rob Chismark on Facebook like almost every night. He's out somewhere playing at a corner gas station or a restaurant someplace, showing off that hey, he can still play.
Right. Yeah. Shout out to Rob. Rob hooked me up with the Jacksonville Open entry, and I get to go down there next weekend. So shout out to Rob Chismark, one of the loudest mouths in the game.
And you know what? And another one of the great guys. Like he was another guy I got to kind of really meet down in Cherokee, and it's almost like with most of the people in the cornhole world, you meet them once and you're almost like best friends voice. Yeah,
you're family.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like Rob, I've known Rob for years playing this game, and it's hard to tell when he's serious, but he's just a good ass dude, and you got to respect him for it.
Well, exactly. So the other thing, one of the last things I wanted to ask you is we've had a lot of new leagues starting to open up here in Canada here, which is fantastic. And actually a big shout out to the guys who are playing in Regina, over in Saskatchewan. They're just starting up. They've been sharing my show.
Where are they playing?
Regina, Saskatchewan.
Oh, okay.
Okay. It's a big flat area in the prairies here. Kind of, but it's still it's they're a new league starting up. They haven't had a chance to play any of their stuff yet, but they've been just starting up. And we've got Twin Sioux Cornhole, which is they're kind of being able to get some border battles with some of the Michigan guys up in the northern part of Ontario. And even this past week, Peterborough, they've been able to open up. Our lockdown has finally opened up, so they can open up. So what I wanted to ask you is, what is your advice for new people just starting out?
Oh man, I've said this time and time again. Like, it's one thing that you want to get better. Take it all in, have fun, because once you get to the point where people are starting to notice who you are and stuff like that, then the target gets on your back, and it's not going to be as fun anymore because everyone's going to beat you. As far as a personal experience, like I got so good. I got good really, really fast. I mean, I take it as fun regardless if I'm competing hard or not. But take that whole time that you're learning the game and soak it all in. Conversate with people. Figure out what they did to get better. Just don't go lock yourself in a room for 10 hours a day and throw bags until you come out looking like Matt Guy.
Yeah.
Because you're gonna rob yourself of so many experiences. Travel. Move around. Don't play against the same people, because after a while, you'll understand how to beat them. They'll understand how to play against you, and it's so most of the time it ends up being a talking match. Then who can get out of get people out of their heads and stuff like that. But move around, play against different people. Learn the game from a million different aspects. That's all. That's about it, bro. I started out and I got right out there and started playing against tough competition right out the gate. It was a necessity for me because I wanted to be really good at it. I want to be great at it. And it, again, with the mental health stuff, it allowed me an escape from everyday life. So I wanted to see the best. I wanted to go see the Michael Jordan cornhole right away. I wanted to see the Scottie Pippins, the Elijah Wans, and the Charles Barkleys of cornhole. Now I'm aging myself, but I wanted to see the greats of the game right away to see what I can take from their game and incorporate it in mine in order for me to skip some steps. But I also wanted to take it all in, like Jay Dotson. He's a great player, but he's even better personality. I wanted to learn all this stuff about everybody, experience all of it as a whole. That's all I wanted to do, and it worked out pretty good.
Yeah, you know what, and you, we won't call them fans, we'll call them followers of yours, because like you said, that once you start doing this up throw, everybody started doing it because they're all followers of yours. And I'm glad that I'm one, and I want to thank you for coming on here, talking again. I think you're now like the most. You're the person who's come on the show the most. I think now you're just past Trey. I think for coming on. But
Hey, Trey Ryder.
yes,
Next time you have Trey on, I'd like to be a guest. I want to ask him some questions. Yeah,
I'm totally open with that. Totally open with that. But it's again, thanks for coming on again. And you know what, it's always great when I get a chance to talk with you, because we message back and forth so much, but to be able to see you and just kind of converse, it always I'm feeling I can go down into at least 4 bags in the hole maybe in a game, because I was feeling really good down there before. I was throwing the deck around and I put 6 bags in a row, and I was feeling like Danny Seals when he put the 16 in a row, and then I threw like 8 off in a row. It
yeah, you can't do that. You can't do that. You gotta let that adrenaline go with every bag, man. Like I always tell people, you have to have instant amnesia, no matter what you did, regardless if you did something good or did something bad. Forget about it. The next bag is a whole new ball game.
Well, and you know what? That's what I got from you. After we had that kind of message back and forth, I got like, you know what? Don't let that last bag define who you are. Yeah. Don't let the bag define you. If you throw it off, forget about it. You got to go for that next one.
Even if you throw it in, like we always want to put the next one in also, but you still got to forget it, because it's going to change something in you. Like the confidence is going to get too high, or the adrenaline is going to start flowing too much. Like every bag deserves its own part of you, and it should be the same part of you every time, regardless if you made it or missed it.
Yep. So on that note, again, thanks for coming on. I'm gonna have you on. It's not gonna be as long as it was the last time. Having you back on to talk again very soon after we see you win the Open in Florida. How about
Thanks, man. That's the whole thing. I'm trying to. Even if I don't win, because I'm not gonna kid myself. I'm nowhere near in the physical form though to win a tournament of that size. Yeah, I'm not gonna discount myself either. But even if I don't win, I'm working towards getting back to where I was towards the end of the year last year. I was throwing the best I've ever thrown at the end of last year, and I want to get back there. Like this COVID stuff's really done a lot on my mental and physical. There's a little bit more of me once you see me because of COVID.
I think that goes for a lot of us.
Well, some people are smaller. Some people decided no, COVID ain't gonna plump me up. But I'm trying to get it off now. But there's a little bit more of me. So if you come in to hug me, you better stretch first. You better stretch first.
Okay. Again, like I said, thanks for the laughs, and again, hope to have you on again very, very soon. And just have fun down in Florida, and best of luck.
Thanks a lot, man. Appreciate it.
And as always, catch the show next week. We'll be going back to our Canada series with leagues in Canada. I'm not sure who we're going to have yet, but just check it out and have some fun playing. And as always, watch out for those players on octane gas, because they might just kick your ass.
Oh, well, all right then.